choice.
Welcome to this in-depth video dedicated to one of the most common obstacles to success and personal growth: procrastination. In the next several minutes, you will learn what truly happens in your brain when you procrastinate. You will understand which mechanisms drive your behavior and how science explains the ongoing internal conflict between what you want to do and what you actually end up doing. After that, we will move on to a practical strategy that you can start using today. This strategy is built on proven scientific findings and psychological principles that work for a large number of people when applied correctly. If you stay until the end, you will walk away with a clear plan that will help you break the cycle of procrastination and build a reliable system for taking action. Let us begin with the most important question: why do we procrastinate? For many years, people believed that procrastination was simply a problem of discipline or a lack of willpower. Science shows a very different picture. Procrastination is an emotional problem rather than an organizational one. The human brain naturally tries to avoid discomfort, stress, and uncertainty. When a task feels confusing, unpleasant, overwhelming, or tied to fear of failure, the brain automatically looks for quick relief. That relief can be checking social media, watching a video, tidying something, snacking, or anything that brings a moment of comfort. Procrastination is a form of emotional escape. It does not happen because you are lazy or incapable. It happens because the task triggers a negative emotional response. Your brain reacts by pushing you towards something easier. The key to changing this behavior is learning how to manage the emotional weight surrounding your tasks, rather than trying to force yourself through them. When you procrastinate, two areas of the brain are competing. One area is centered around immediate rewards. The other is responsible for long-term planning. Procrastination is the result of whichever part gains control in the moment. If you want to change the behavior, you must change the way you manage your attention, the way you structure your tasks, and the way you prepare yourself to take action. Before we explore the science in more depth, if you find this content valuable, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. This truly helps the video reach more people who are dealing with the same struggle. Now let us take a closer look at what happens in the brain during procrastination. When you receive a task, your brain quickly evaluates whether it brings pleasure or stress. If it senses stress, the activity shifts toward the system that seeks immediate gratification. This leads to choosing an easier action, even if that action does not benefit you in any meaningful way. After avoiding the task, you feel guilt. The guilt creates more stress, and that stress fuels the cycle of procrastination. Breaking this cycle requires a new approach, not another promise to yourself that tomorrow will be different. Now we will move on to a science-based strategy for stopping procrastination, which consists of several steps. The first step is identifying the emotional trigger, as there is always a specific reason why you avoid a particular task. Sometimes it is fear of failure, sometimes fear of success, or even confusion if the task is not clear enough, causing your brain to automatically reject it. To interrupt this cycle, you must turn the task from something vague into something concrete, making it less intimidating. One of the most effective techniques is breaking the task into the smallest possible steps, as your brain is not afraid of small actions. It is afraid of long, difficult, and unclear processes, but when a task is divided into micro actions, it no longer feels intimidating. For example, instead of thinking you need to write an entire report, make the first step simply opening the document. The next step can be writing one single sentence. Each completed micro step sends a signal to the brain that you are moving forward. This increases motivation and reduces internal tension, reinforcing progress through dopamine release. The second step is managing your expected emotions, as many people procrastinate because they anticipate discomfort. A technique called emotional planning helps your brain prepare for the feeling ahead of time. Ask yourself what negative emotion you expect. Once you name it, it loses much of its power. The brain reacts less strongly to emotions that are consciously identified, making the task look far less threatening. The next important step is creating an environment that supports action instead of avoidance. This environment includes your physical space as well as your digital distractions. Setting up your environment can be a game changer. If your phone constantly interrupts you, your brain will never maintain focus. If you work in a messy space, your mind may feel overwhelmed, increasing cortisol levels by 15%. Adjusting the environment is one of the easiest ways to influence your behavior without relying on willpower. Then comes the principle: start before you feel ready. Our brains often wait for inspiration or the perfect moment, but research shows that action leads to motivation, not the other way around. When you simply begin, even with something minimal, the brain switches into work mode and resistance decreases. Starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, the process continues far more easily. This is the perfect moment to remind you once more. If you find value in this content and are learning something helpful, please support the video with a like. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. This helps the channel grow and allows others to discover this information. Now let us continue with the fourth step in the strategy: working in time blocks. This method is used by many successful people and is supported by cognitive research. The idea is simple. You set a timer for a specific amount of time and work on one single task. It can be 15 minutes or 30 minutes. The time limit reduces anxiety because the brain knows the effort has a clear boundary. When the timer ends, you take a short break. This creates a rhythm that is much easier to maintain compared to long and undefined work periods. In the final part of this video, we will integrate all these elements into one clear system. You will get a formula that you can apply to any task, whether it is work-related, personal, or part of a long-term project. The formula has 5 steps. Step 1. Clarify the task. Make sure the task is specific and broken into the smallest possible actions. Step 2. Identify the emotion. Recognize the negative feeling that causes you to avoid the task. Step 3. Prepare your environment. Remove distractions and create a space that tells your brain it is time to focus. Step 4. Begin with a micro action, no matter how small it is. Step 5. Work in time blocks. Use a timer to create short cycles of work and rest. This system works because it brings together the scientific principles of attention and emotional regulation with the psychological mechanisms behind habit formation. It does not depend on willpower. It depends on structure. And when the structure is clear, the brain enters work mode far more easily. Now, let us go over a few additional techniques that can make the process even smoother. The first technique is the 2-minute rule. It says that any task can be started if you commit to working for only 2 minutes. This helps bypass resistance. Often, after those 2 minutes, you will find that you are already engaged and do not want to stop. The second technique is visual tracking of progress. When you can see your progress, your motivation increases. This can be a calendar, a chart, or a simple checklist. The important part is giving your brain a visual signal that you are moving forward. The third technique is creating a starting ritual. When you have a small ritual that always precedes a certain type of work, your brain begins to associate it with focus and productivity. This can be as simple as turning on a specific lamp, organizing your desk, or taking a short breath to center yourself. The final technique is connecting your actions to your personal values. When a task is linked to something meaningful to you, motivation becomes stronger and more consistent. Think about why the task matters and how it fits into the bigger vision for your life. When the meaning is clear, procrastination loses its power. Before we end this video, I want to invite you once more to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Your support is the best way to help the channel grow, and your feedback helps me create even more valuable content. Let us summarize everything. Procrastination is not laziness. It is an emotional response. It can be managed through awareness, structure, and a clear system for taking action. The steps you learned today are based on scientific evidence and can transform the way you work and live. If you apply them consistently, you will notice that the tasks that once felt overwhelming become simple and achievable. Start with one small step today. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for watching this video. I wish you clarity, focus, and steady progress. See you in the next one.
Support us by liking and subscribing.